Okay, we are live, and today is quite a special day. We have got the full founding force team on the Spaces today with us, episode 5 of Spark Spaces. And it's been a very exciting Q1, and we've taken this opportunity to obviously invite everyone out of their incredibly busy schedules, but to have a chat with the community and to go through some very exciting and important milestones that has been achieved and unlocked over the last quarter. And of course, everyone has been working like mad scientists behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, making it all come together in a beautiful symphony that might be obviously overlooked, but the amount of work that really goes on behind the scenes. So I've invited all co-founders here of Phoenix Labs to join us on this discussion and go through some of the very exciting achievements that we've all pulled together and made happen over the last quarter. Of course, it's much longer in the works. The team was founded in May 2023. I stand to be correct, but I think that's the correct date. So a lot of work that has gone under for the last few years, but everything's really starting to come to fruition over the last 6 months or so. But we're really starting to put on the gas, so to speak, in the last quarter, and things are looking really good. Things are looking up. The metrics across the boards are exciting, and we want to talk about it. And of course, this is only the starting point. We've got a very exciting lineup for the next at least 6 months, a year, and beyond. Of course, we're building one of the most sustainable projects in Web3 and the world. So yeah, it's just the start of many beautiful things. But firstly, guys, thank you, guys and ladies, of course. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a great time, obviously, for the founders because you can see all of your hard work finally coming to fruition. A lot of tangible results are now in the market. People are talking about Spark. It's exciting. We had a long session, Nadia and myself today, and we were talking about it being a baby, so to speak, and all the love and attention that you put into this project is finally starting to walk and to a degree run. And of course, in the next few months, we're going to start sprinting, which is going to obviously intensify, and everyone except for Chris is going to lose more hair. But we will, we will all look beautiful and shiny on the other side of the rainbow. Okay, guys. So Sam, CEO and co-founder of Phoenix, and then we'll walk around the room and, of course, give everyone a chance to talk about what they're up to and how they see things panning out. But Sam, thank you so much again. You and I are spending a lot of time in these spaces and obviously having a lot of fun. So no need to introduce yourself, but of course, feel free to do so. But Sam, it's been a very busy week and quarter. Bring us up to speed on some of the important milestones that you are particularly proud of.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the intro again, Phil. Um, so there is a lot going on this past quarter, but the biggest, one of the biggest things that we've been working on is the ramping up and scaling up of the Spark liquidity layer. So toward the end of last year, we launched the first cross-chain deployment, which was on Base. But really, we started ramping it up a lot more towards the beginning of this year, January, February. And so with the Base deployment, the integration with the Morpho market in particular, which gave us access to this, that announced in, I think it was in January, the Coinbase integration. So this is like able to deploy capital into these new markets that we previously couldn't access. And so this kind of expansion is what the Spark liquidity layer is all about, and it's very exciting. That vault, it's retraced a little bit, but it's standing at about a little under 100 million in capital deployed into that vault. And these are now users within the Coinbase app that are able to borrow USDC against their Bitcoin, and they can, because Coinbase, the app sits pretty far outside of DeFi. It's more connected into, more traditional venues. These users can use these things for, go maybe buy a coffee is the overused example, but like, maybe they want to buy a car or something, get a loan for these types of things. These are the types of loans that we want to facilitate more and more. So that was very exciting. We also onboarded Athena directly into the Spark liquidity layer. Again, that was in January. While the markets have turned against us, so there's not really much deployment in there as of right now. that stands ready for when the funding rates go back up. We can tap into that. And so, really, it's all just about increasing the amount of options that are available to the Spark liquidity layer, such that when DeFi rates are low, we can deploy into real world assets like treasury bills. And when the DeFi rates are high, we can deploy into products such as Athena or Sparkland or Aave or Morpho, really basically everything. Um, and then the other big news last week, or 2 weeks ago, I'm losing track of time, was the Grand Prix winners were announced. And so that's $1 billion deployment into BlackRock Biddle, Superstate USTB, and Centrifuge JTRSY, which is all treasury bills. And so that will be activated next week, actually. So you should see the TVL on Spark growing quite a bit because we'll be taking over that allocation from previously it was under Sky. So that's pretty exciting. Additionally, I mean, there's so much stuff going on. So another thing that we launched a few weeks ago was the Spark SUSDC vault, which allows people to deposit from native USDC into our yield-bearing version of that vault, which uses the wider SUSDS savings rate. So it's the same backing. It allows users to tap into that with their USDC, and then they're able to get in and out with the USDC-oriented vault. So we launched that a few weeks ago. It's launched on Ethereum, Base, and Arbitrum, and it's been quite successful so far. We see just under 50 million in deposits into that already, which is quite exciting. We should see that continue, I imagine. And so, yeah, I think like all around, it's just been like amazing numbers, amazing growth. You know, despite the market pullback, we're going to see some TVL growth for Spark. Revenues are still pretty good. I think they've dropped off a little bit, but we're looking at estimated annual revenue of Spark is about 76 million per year, which is not bad for a pre-TG token or project. So yeah, lots going on. It's very exciting. Yeah.
Thanks, Sam. Just a few questions before we go around the room, just on the sort of the expectation and honesty, I suppose, around the successes that we've managed to achieve. As an example, USDC. There was enormous parabolic growth that we saw in the first couple of days. And like you said, it's sitting around 40, 50 million or so. Were you guys kind of expecting to see these type of results? And if not, what were you thinking? And did the market kind of surprise you in how responsive and how active we managed to get all of this capital?
Who wants to take that? I can take it, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I'm continually blown away by the growth metrics, and so it's really the community has put a lot of trust into Spark, and we want to continue to earn that trust. So we are striving to deliver the highest quality products, but also the safest products in the ecosystem. So there's a lot of work that goes into the risk management of both the backing side, which generates the yield, as well as the deposit side. We want to make easier interfaces for people to get into the Spark ecosystem. And so, really, it's just a long track record. A lot of us have been working previously in the MakerDAO ecosystem for many, many years. And MakerDAO is one of the oldest projects and been through many bear and bull cycles. And so, we're just I'm continually amazed at how much trust is put into us, I hope we can continue to earn it, and I'm very it's great. I'm humbled.
I think we
Yeah,
will
I
go for it, Nadia.
yeah, no, I wanted to add something there, and it's that, as Sam said, we have been involved in the maker ecosystem for a long, long, long time. So I think what we're doing uh with the Spark through Phoenix Labs is like to develop all the things, all the products that we thought maker needed at at some point in time. So what we try to do, what we always try to do, is try to like understand who is using Spark, what are the market needs, and develop a product that can like that can like be the solution for all these market needs. And I think I really love the savings USDC product because of that, because it is just like an answer to what the market needs. So I think that is what also helps Spark to grow, that all the products that Spark is offering are just like things that the crypto users need, and we are just like helping develop that type of solutions through Spark.
Yeah, I think, I mean, so eloquently put, I think some of the biggest challenges that crypto faces really is trying to crowbar product market fits, right? So we all try to solve these solutions or these problems really with solutions that probably the world doesn't quite know that they need yet, or there is no problem, right? And I think what is obviously exemplary is the team here have got not only the track record but experience and a true understanding from that track record of what the market actually needs, and has designed a platform slash product that is a perfect fit. So yeah, it's one of those things where I think if I put my marketing hat on for a bit, it's not something where I have to spin and weave up these wonderful, fanciful stories about convincing why this is, needed in the market. This is just one of those things where we go out and we say this is what it's about, and people resonate. Every project that we've spoken to, every partner that we speak to, and even on the community fronts, everyone gets the essence of what we're building, and the perfect fit and the perfect timing, of course, of which Spark comes to to the market and fruition. So 100%, Nadia, product market fit is spot on, and that is definitely resonating not only from a user point of view and usage point of view, but also from what we're feeding or being fed back from our partners and market insights. So very spot on. All right, Chris. You're sitting there from a dev point of view. You've got an enormous amount of work that you have achieved over the last quarter, and of course beyond that. Your team is one of the most competent teams that I've ever worked with in the dev space, which is awesome. It's a pleasure, and I think what you have built in terms of UX has been exemplary. So maybe if you can just tell us about some of those, the product features and the thought process and the process that obviously has gone on behind the scenes in order to develop such a seamless looking website and app.
Yeah, sure. So a lot of things were already mentioned by Sam, but yeah, like on the product front, like we were busy redesigning the savings page, which now we believe supports better like multiple different assets that you can interact. You can interact with the protocol. So now we have like this whole brand new USDC supporting, let's call it Vault savings account. We also added like new domains to the product, like Arbitrum this year. End of the last year, it was Base. And there was like a ton of work on Spark liquidity layer that was somewhere under the hood that was already mentioned, but maybe one thing that is like totally not visible for regular users, but we pushed a lot like the internal infrastructure for monitoring and like automating all of the different stuff that's happening on chain. So we're set. We're in the good place to accelerate even more in the future.
Awesome, Chris. Obviously, none of this comes easy, right? So, what would you say are some of the key lessons and probably one of your greatest obstacles that you overcame over the last quarter and beyond? Obviously, because why I'm saying beyond is because it's not just the quarter. There's a lot of work that has gone on for the last couple of years. What would you say are some highlights in terms of those challenges that you managed to overcome and lessons learned?
Right. So maybe not to bore people with some technical difficulties. Last few months, we grew our team quite a lot. So this is always like challenging how to first of all like find smart people that you want to work with, and then help them to grow. So I think we did a pretty good job in this, not only on the technical front. So yeah, I'm even though it was challenging and it still is, I think we did like great job like expanding the team basically.
Yeah, finding the right talent, especially on the technical side, so it remains an enormous challenge. And then, of course, once we find those, those gems, it's our responsibility to keep them engaged and present, exciting challenges to overcome. So amazing work there. Thank you very much, Chris. Lucas, you're not out of the weeds there. You had your Formula One avatar that was used on this, but unfortunately, you missed the deadline to submit your headshot. Next time, you're not going to be that lucky. You're going to be publicized. So, Lucas, how's everything going from your side? A genius behind the scenes in terms of smart contract engineering. Give us an update, your role, and what are you tinkering on?
Yeah, so very busy quarter across the team, but on the smart contracts team as well. So essentially, like what I've been focusing the majority of my time on is expanding the functionality of the Spark liquidity layer, all the on-chain components. So what that means is setting up the logic for new integrations. So what we have in place already, which is great, is like a 4626 standard integration. So that allows us to onboard Morpho markets, Fluid, we were able to onboard without making any code changes. We now have like Aave style integration set up so we can deploy into Aave markets and Sparkland markets. Sam mentioned Athena. But what I focused a lot of my energy on for this quarter was the Grand Prix integrations. So this is BlackRock, Centrifuge, Superstate, and outside of the Grand Prix is Maple Finance. So this was a big RWA push for the Spark liquidity layer, which was really well timed for this bear market because, as Sam mentioned before, the unique value proposition of the savings product that Sky offers is that you get the best of both worlds. When we're in a bull market, we can deploy into Athena, Morpho, capture all the DeFi yields, get the really nice, double-digit yields, and pass them on to our users. But when the market is in a more of a downturn, we get to take advantage of deploying capital into real-world assets. So these integrations are like super well timed. Everything's set up really well to take advantage of all of these RWA integrations, which is really exciting. Outside of that, been doing a lot of work on setting up the smart contract infrastructure to be much more scalable in terms of deploying into new like layer twos, like Arbitrum, Base. We're going to be expanding to other domains in the future. So really setting ourselves up well to like rapidly expand the Spark liquidity layer into any and every integration that makes sense for us. So doing a lot of work behind the scenes to set ourselves up for that scaling. And then, outside of that, this RWA deployment will be going live very soon, which is extremely exciting. Like Sam said, our TVL is going to be going up quite significantly because of that, which is awesome. Outside of that, there's another release coming, which is we're going to be adding liquidity to curve pools to facilitate swapping between stablecoins as well to the Spark liquidity layer. And what else? Outside of that, been working on continuing to maintain Sparkland and onboarding new collateral types, so that we can continue to expand that lending market and take advantage of those opportunities as well.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Lucas. Nadia, our matriarch, the glue that keeps us all together and sane. You are a life force to be reckoned with, but also from an operational point of view, one of the most competent ops persons I've ever had the pleasure to work with. You are busy and you've got a lot on the plate, on the go. Give us an insight into what your last quarter looked like and maybe give us a little bit of a hint of what lies ahead. I know that we're scaling from an operational point of view, and we might be busy now, but tomorrow we're going to be even busier, which is exciting. So what's been going on in your world?
Oh my gosh. So a million things. I think the most interesting thing that happened the past quarter, as Chris mentioned, was the scaling of the team. Like Phoenix Labs started as a small, very, very small company, and scaling the team was needed because of how big Spark it is right now and how big Spark wants to become in the future. So we knew we needed more resources. And like, as you know now, Phil, we love to work with very, very smart people. And it is amazing to work with people that are smarter than you. So I think that was like the main challenge of this quarter of Q1. And I'm more than happy with the team that we currently have. So I think this is all just like the ingredients for like for incredible things that are about to come. And the other thing we did during the first quarter of the year was like to, because Spark is a complex thing. Like all the Sky ecosystem is very, very, very complex. Like if Maker was complex, like I don't have the words to explain how difficult it is for like a new person into crypto to understand all the weird words and little complexities that the Sky ecosystem has to offer. So one of my main challenges, and like thanks to you and others that are helping us with this, is like to find the best way to explain what Spark is, because Spark is so many things. So I loved how we end up with Spark is not a bank, which says a lot, and that was like like the Spark moment of the quarter. Spark is not a bank. So that that it, like was the beginning of a lot of discussions, internal discussions, and like brainstorming together to come up with like a better way to explain that Spark is an on-chain asset allocator and all the things that Spark is doing as offering a savings account, but not as a bank, but different. So I invite everyone who is listening right now to like just like go to Spark and start like using the savings feature, because it is I think one of the best products that DeFi has nowadays. So yeah, like on the operational side of the things, there are a lot of pieces to manage because we're growing not just like in terms of product and revenue, but also we want to evolve on how we explain and like communicate everything that we're doing. So that's a lot another effort that I'm very focused with, and is like to try to explain in simple terms what we do, what is the Spark liquidity layer, what's the impact of Spark in the whole DeFi ecosystem, and what a roadmap looks like. Because I think it is, as I mentioned before, I think the magic inside of Spark is that we all like have been in DeFi since forever. So what we want is like to improve how DeFi works on different levels, on a smart contracts level, on a front end level, on a user experience, and we also want to give users like a secure and like an easy way to interact with DeFi. So all of those are like a very interesting challenge that requires the perfect team and like the right messaging, so newcomers can easily start using and be onboarded into Spark. So yeah, that was part of the challenge on the first quarter, and I think that's going to be our North Star for like the rest of the year. And of course, like there are interesting things that will happen in the next month. So yeah, I can talk about that, but yeah, we're very busy for like things that we plan to launch in the next months.
Awesome. Also, just a little bit of added context. If you read our blogs, and I hope you read our blogs, that is where a lot of the ideation and conceptual communication starts. And Nadia is responsible for designing, drawing up, and writing these blogs, which we all believe are extremely well written and obviously simplified in a way that anyone who picks it up can read it and understand it. And that includes me. I am not the DeFi expert in the room, but I am surrounded by DeFi experts. And my responsibility, of course, is to translate all these complex terms and make it accessible for everyone as we embark on new users coming into Web3 or crypto that might be unfamiliar with, bridging and certain terminology that we kind of lose ourselves in. But that is just a little bit of extra tidbit where Nadia is heavily involved in terms of the laying the foundation, the groundwork for all of the communications that sprouts from that point. So, that's amazing. Thank you very much. Now, I'm just going to take this brief moment. I know we're kind of looking at about 30 minutes for this call, but I want to also just take a moment from a marketing and growth point of view. What we've been doing is some really exciting campaigning. You've seen on the wires some really exciting creative concepts that have been rolled out related to massive milestones like the USDC vault, as an example, like the billboard that we managed to do in New York Times Square, which, as from a marketing point of view, that is quite an achievement, and we're all very proud of that. But from a growth point of view, we have done some amazing things. Just in top line numbers, we've reached about a million people this quarter in terms of eyeballs coming across Spark. So we are definitely getting the reach and the engagement that we set out for. We are building momentum, and our community is growing at a very healthy rate. So essentially, we have doubled down on some exciting numbers. When I started, which was about a month and a half ago, which has gone literally in the blink of an eye, we were on about 11,000 or 10,000 followers on X. We're sitting at around about 28,000 now on X, which is very healthy growth. And on Discord, we're also looking at about a 20,000 extra community member fold. So things are looking good from a optics and a community size point of view. Of course, we're just starting to get the machine going. But everyone we talk to in the industry, and also from a community point of view, we're receiving really positive feedback that we are the sought after project. Projects are knocking us on the door, tapping us on the shoulder, and wanting to work with us, which is very exciting. Obviously, proposition from a marketing point of view. So we're only starting to get things in shape. We've got exciting plans, literally, that will be basically pull the trigger on the next few days. We're in contractual stages with major media partners. We're going to be doing regional rollouts in South Korea and China, as an example. So we are going to be localizing a lot of the content, which is going to be exciting. And of course, that's just the starting point. We will be looking at other regions, in terms of localized content and community initiatives. We're going to be holding awesome campaigns, awesome competitions. We're also going to be working on merchandise with a storefront that if you want to get your hands on a hoodie or something along those lines, we're going to be rolling that out. And of course, massive KOL partners and research partners are also in play. So we are going to be taking over the mind share. That is at least my objective. We're going to be taking over the mind share for the next couple months and beyond. And of course, as Nadia and I were talking this morning, our greatest challenge is, of course, sitting in front of us with the milestone that we all know that is sitting in the room with us, but we can't really talk about it because we don't want to set the wrong expectations. But once that milestone has been unlocked and we know that we become a post TGE type project, the greatest challenge will be keeping that mindshare and excitement going, which of course we're all up for it. So that's a little bit of an update from a marketing point of view. We've got some very exciting things obviously in the pipeline. And we want to thank the community for listening in. We get really good numbers on these live streams. We've also just deployed our YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube, we're live streaming these things, these spaces on a weekly basis. We're going to also be doing a lot more content on YouTube and other channels. We also just deployed our intern. We hired an intern this week, a bit of tongue in cheek. We had to do so because we want to say things from a marketing point of view. We just legally cannot. So we hired an intern, and if that intern messes up, I promise you I will fire them without a hesitation of the fact. But he's a good guy, and so far doing some fun work. So if you haven't known or you haven't heard about it, we have launched the intern. Follow their account on X. And so just a bit of fun and cheek, or tongue in cheek, a bit of fun. And of course, we're going to be simplifying and breaking down, what are some of the complex terms, and doing a little bit of a 101 educational series on X. Okay, cool. Guys, now, obviously, we live in a bit of a Trump cycle with tariff threats and ebb and flows, which obviously, from a general point of view, can shake out, the strongest of the lot. But we are resilient. We've got a game plan. We're all, obviously committed to the objectives, and things are looking extremely positive. So One, the team that sits here, it's an honor and a pleasure to work with some of the smartest and best minds in the business. And the next quarter is going to be absolutely parabolic. It's going to be epic. Of course, I need to always watch my hype tonality because that gets me in hot water with our legal team. But I don't mind getting wrapped over the knuckles every now and then. That's my job. I want to get everyone excited because what we're building is the future of finance, in our opinion, and it is going to be the future of everything that we know in terms of connectivity and empowerment, self-empowerment. All right. Now, we're running out of time. I don't know. Do we want to have a little bit of an overview, just a quick, maybe I'm just going to shoot around the room very quick. What are you excited about next, in the next few months? And of course, please don't give too much insight into what we're planning because we don't want to obviously call the shot before it actually happens. So let's just quickly go with Sam, and then we'll run we'll go clockwise in this example. Sam?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's what everybody's alluding to coming up in the next couple of months, and that's very exciting for everybody, I think, and the people listening in on this stream. But like on the product side, I'm also just very interested in like continuing to scale up our operations. So we're still kind of in a beginning mode, and like to our quarter two and beyond, like we're like really going to start scaling it. So with the introduction of the Grand Prix next week, scaling that up to 1 billion fairly quickly. These are big numbers. This is not trivial amounts. So we're going to continue on this path to growth, and I think that's what I'm most excited for: onboarding more chains, onboarding more protocols, and really just having the most advanced allocation system available in the industry, so that users who are deposited into products on the savings side can be confident that their investments are safe, secure, and earning quite a good return.
Thank you, Sam. Chris?
So there's something exciting coming next week, but unfortunately I cannot tell what it is, but it's going to be sweet. So let me put just that.
All right, cool. So don't blink, don't move. Next week's going to be another one. Awesome. Cool. Nadia?
So I'm really excited about our multi-chain expansion because we started with base last year, but like with a very small deployment. But we went bigger this year, and then we added Arbitrum, and the growth has been impressive, and that shows us that we really needed to go. Everywhere else besides mainnet. So this is interesting because we can expand our solution to new users, and for me that is the most interesting part. I think savings is like the perfect product to have everywhere in every chain. So we are doubling down on that, not just next quarter, but also like during the year. So that is what excites me the most.
Awesome. Multi-chain universe. Super app, so to speak. Awesome. Okay, Lucas?
I'll echo Sam in saying that I'm really excited to start seeing $1 billion flow into RWAs through this new deployment of the Spark liquidity layer, these new integrations. And what I will say, I'm working on something that I can't really talk about, but it's the most excited I've been to work on anything in the 8 years that I've been in the Ethereum ecosystem. I'm the most excited that I've ever been. Can't tell you what it is though.
So you are the new hype guy.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'll help you.
You're in good company. Okay, perfect. Amazing. Thank you very much. Firstly, for the community listening in, we know that these sessions are greatly received, and we will keep on producing content like this, and we'll keep on producing information as long as you guys you rock up and you listen and you dial in. So I appreciate the communities for taking time out of their busy days and listening in. And of course, to the esteemed founding panel here, thank you very much for taking time out today, joining us, giving us a quarter one update. And we will be obviously coming out on the wires with more written formats in terms of what these milestones actually look like and some of these massive successes and achievements. So guys and ladies, thank you very much for dialing in. and updating us on some incredibly exciting work that everyone here has managed to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.